We're going to talk about your hair, guys, in a minute. But first, Dr. Oz, good to have you.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Great to see you.
It was last week that the American Health Care Act passed through the U.S. House. Now it moves on to the Senate, where there's going to be a lot of figuring out what to do. I know you talked to Tom Price, our Secretary of Health and Human Services. What do you think?
Well, I mean, they're doing what they wanted to do, which is to make a big dent in how much you pay for health care. I would argue that the really brave move goes one step further and deals with the underlying cost issues. Because think about it, it takes twice as much to take care of each of us on this couch as it would if we lived in France or Germany. And we don't want to go live in France and Germany. We want to be Americans living in America, but not pay twice as much per person.
Why are we paying twice?
There's a lot of structural problems we have, but most importantly, I'll give this as a solution, we have technology in this country, because we're the leader, actually, in getting people to talk together digitally. We have technology that can dramatically cut our costs. More efficient prescription of medications, for example. You know, as a doctor, when I give you a pill, I have no idea what it costs. When you go to get the pill from the pharmacy, you find out for the first time, and 1/3 of the time, you don't pick it up. There are things we can do that helps pharma. There are things that pharma can do to help the American public. Same for insurance, same for hospital costs, same for doctor fees. Across the board, we have a very inefficient system.
Dr. Oz, who benefits by this lack of transparency? Because, you know, Senator Collins and a doctor, Senator Cassidy, want to have transparency in the system when it comes to what it costs. So you'll know when you go to see a doctor, it's going to cost you $80. And 40 is picked up by insurance.
Well, the entrenched factions do benefit, but they benefit today. They could benefit even more if we made a more transparent system, because people who do a good job would do even better. If you have confidence you're doing the best job with insurance or drugs or hospital care, then you'll want this transparency. And look, it's going to come anyway. I think, and hopefully we have a brave group of folks who will, because it takes a lot of bravery, because people do not want this to work. And it's not just about health, it's about housing, it's about education. They all work together. There's a study that was done in Seattle. Taking homeless people off the street costs about $13,000 per person. I just published an op-ed on this. It saved $43,000 per person in health costs. You know,
13 gets you 43.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do that because we're paying the $30,000 difference. So why not invest to make sure, listen, being homeless is not a healthy lifestyle. Let's make a dent in the right places, same for education, that invests money where we know it will benefit. There was a bill that was put forward by Senator Wyden that would have given an incentive to folks if they would take care of their numbers, know their blood sugar, their blood pressure, just manage them and take care of them. You know, I would pass that bill, because why not give a little incentive to someone to take care of
personal responsibility.
Of course, and it works. Well, I don't want to be sick. You don't want me to be sick, because you got to pay for me to take care of myself. Let's run a healthcare system that's clear enough with who is getting what when, so people can actually make rational decisions. It works in other sectors. It would work here too. And for the few people, and I know there's some folks who can't manage their care, it makes sense for us to help them. They need a little bit more coaching. They need a system that's going to get in their face a bit more and say, hey, listen, you're not checking your numbers. We're here to make sure you do, because we don't want you showing up in the ER.
That's why your show is so valuable. You do that stuff all the time.
Speaking of your show, Dr. Oz, I remember we were talking about hair transplants, and I know that a lot of men that are losing their hair, they want these hair transplants. I know they can be expensive. You're talking about on your show the dangers of hair transplants. What do guys in particular, I know women lose their hair too, but mostly men, what do they need to look for if they're going to get a hair transplant?
So, Nancy, this is one of the biggest scams in America right now. It takes almost, first of all, there's no credentialing for getting hair implant certificates. You just go out and do it. You can take a weekend course. It takes a long time to learn how to do hair implants correctly. And it's not just about men. As you point out, 80% of men have hair issues, 40% of women do.
Wow.
And it's not cheap. So people are going overseas. There are people dying.
From a hair transplant.
From a hair transplant. That happened to a 22-year-old woman recently in India. Here's the deal. It can cause infections. It can cause bleeding. It can cause scarring. Right? And it might not work if it's not done correctly. So you need to ask the right questions of your doctor. How many do you guys do? What kind of success rates do you have? And listen, it's supposed, you know, these things should cost $5,000, $10,000, $12,000. If someone's doing it to you for $1,000, there's something wrong.
But to get it affordable, a lot of people go into other countries, right? They're going to Turkey, they're going to Pakistan,
India.
Does it usually go well?
It's Russian roulette, completely unclear. I would never do it personally, because listen, you don't want the hair just implanted. You want it implanted the right way. You don't want to cause huge scars from where you got the hair. You want them angled the right direction, where you look like a porcupine. And I did a big investigation. We looked around the world, but also in this country. And amazingly, these operations, there's a fly-by-night setups. These guys are really after a 2 or 3 day class to go do it. And here's the big part.
2 or 3 days?
2 or 3 days. They're not even doctors doing the implant.
Can't be a lifeguard for that.
You don't want a salesperson pitching your hair. And there's medications that work.
All right, when can we watch your show if folks at home want to know more about it?
This is on tomorrow's show. It's going to be a big part. We also have the O.J. case, because O.J.'s up for parole. and we had Ron Goldman's sister coming on the show.
Okay.
So talk for the, about her opinion on what's going on with O.J. Should he get out or not? It's been it's been 9 years.
It looks like he's going to get out.
Yeah, the odds are favoring him getting out, and we'll find out what people think about that.
Congratulations on your Daytime Emmy Award.
Oh, it was
How
fun.
did you celebrate?
So I took Daphne, who was my biggest competition, who you guys trained.
Used to be our college associate here.
And we agreed to go to In-N-Out Burger. There we are, at In-N-Out Burger.
In your tuxedo.
In my tuxedo. I have not been to In-N-Out Burger.
What'd you
They
think?
only have on the West Coast.
It's fantastic.
Animal style was pretty good, I have to admit.
You go animal style.
Yes. It's pretty good.
That's
Wow.
great.
So good.
Very interesting way the Oz family celebrates.
Well, we had to do something out of the ordinary, and it worked. It was fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Tell
We'll be
Daphne we
watching
said
soon.
hey.
Thank you very much.
All right.